Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Premier League preview match week 38, or as better known as Survival Sunday. Dazzler, how are we, my man?
I'm all good. I'm all good tonight, Niall. Thanks very much for asking, pal.
Good. Our final Premier League preview of the season.
It's a bit upsetting, brother, isn't it?
The road is long, but the journey was worth it, huh?
We had a great time, didn't we?
As Ted DiBiase would say.
It was we had a great run, pal. We had a great run.
We had a good run.
Absolutely.
Right, let's get into this then. We kick it off. We've got what? 10 fixtures we have to get through on Sunday?
All 10 kick off at the same time, 4 p.m. This is a gambler's dream. So check out our Beat the Bookie episode that we drop after this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker. Let's start Arsenal versus Everton.
Yeah, I mean, huge result tonight. Obviously coming from Goodison Park, isn't it? I think that'll be enough to keep Everton safe, mathematically, and it should mean that they can go out on Sunday and enjoy themselves a little bit, and you might even see, a better Everton side than you have in recent weeks, where the shackles are kind of off a little bit,
Yeah.
Arsenal obviously have a huge task. They've got to obviously do a good number on Everton and make sure that Spurs drop points at Norwich, which I find it unlikely myself, if I'm honest.
No, that's people talk to me about the title race and my thoughts on Villa potentially getting something on Sunday, and I think Spurs dropping points at Norwich is more far-fetched than City dropping points against Villa, to be honest.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
What are you thinking here? Draw?
No, you know what? I'm gonna go with Everton.
Really? Interesting.
I'm gonna go with Everton. Yeah. I just think, they'll have a massive weight off their chest going into the game. I think all the pressure is going to be on Arsenal. They've got to win. They're at home. I think if things don't go their way early on, the fans could get on their back and stuff like that, And I still think they just have too much going on there, Arsenal. There's too many variables to
Everton will be able to break out the new jersey with the Premier League badge on it, yeah?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm thinking a draw. You're thinking an Everton win.
I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2. That's what the ballerina said.
Here's a big one. Brentford versus Leeds.
Yeah, when you talk about results and, how far-fetched things are, I don't think this would be a massive shock if Leeds got something here. I know they haven't been good all season. I know Brentford have been excellent, especially in recent weeks and stuff like that. But I just think Brentford's last home game of the season, they could very easily be on holiday mode. Leeds are going to be scratching and clawing to try and, keep that Premier League survival hopes alive. My problem for Leeds is the draw's not good enough here.
Yeah.
And to win will take something massive, just because of how leaky they are at the back and stuff. And I think what's going to happen is Leeds are going to come out like an absolute train, as you'd expect. But if they don't score early enough and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, I think the old Achilles heel of the back four is going to come to haunt them. And I think Brentford might just do them in.
Yeah, I'm thinking another draw.
Which again does nothing for them.
Well, I mean, if we look at the table, at the moment, they're both on 35, so they would require. Let's skip Brighton versus West Ham for the moment, yeah?
Yeah, well, your problem is that they've got an extra -20 on the goal difference.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, let's couple this then with Burnley versus Newcastle, and we'll come back to Brighton and West Ham. So Burnley, Newcastle is the other factor in this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect Burnley to get anything out of that.
Absolutely not. I have Newcastle in one of my bets.
So then the Leeds point would be enough to save them.
No, it wouldn't be enough to save them.
Well, they're both on 35 at the moment.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Well, unless something is...
They're both on 35. Okay.
Yeah, they're both on, because Burnley's drawn at the moment.
Burnley are drawn. Sorry, you know what? I looked at the table earlier on when Burnley were 1 up. That's what's happened.
Yeah. No,
apologies.
They're both on 35 at the moment. So a point for Leeds and a loss for Burnley is enough for Leeds to survive.
I don't see Burnley getting that now in Newcastle. And then it all comes down to the Leeds game, whether or not they can get a draw. I think Newcastle will do them a favour, but I don't think they'll get the victory they need. I think it'll be 2-1 Brentford, and I think Burnley will hang on.
So what are you thinking in the Burnley-Newcastle game? 2-1? 3-1?
3-1 Newcastle?
Yeah, it's just
2-1 Brentford.
Yeah, it's just to couple them together, because they're obviously...
Yeah, no, I understand completely.
Yeah. Now, 2 others I want to couple together. Brighton versus West Ham and Crystal Palace versus Man United.
Crystal Palace, yeah.
So this is your top 6 or your conference spot up for grabs here.
Yeah, we are 2 points ahead if I'm right.
That is correct.
2 points ahead. But West Ham have a superior goal difference.
That won't come into it though. Hardly.
If we're level on points.
Oh, possibly. I suppose, yeah, if you got a draw and West Ham got a win. Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as I remember, West Ham has a few. Yeah. West Ham are 10 goals to the good.
Yeah, it's 11-1.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, listen, Palace aren't going to push over at the weekend, especially after what's happened tonight. They've gone in 2-0 up at half time. Everton have obviously torn things around.
Tough place to go as well.
Got Goodison rocking. Selhurst, never a nice place to go. I happen to think United will win, but I don't think it'll be easy. I thought he made a lot of changes tonight, Vieira. The boy Conor Gallagher, one of the young players of the season for me on the bench. I don't think he's injured, so maybe saving him for Sunday. That's probably not great for us, if I'm honest. But I just think we might see a little bit of a performance from United with the incoming Erik ten Hag in the stands, which is where he's supposed to be come Sunday.
Yeah, might have preferred to have him on the bench with the way things have pittered out with Ralph.
Absolutely. But I think,
fair is fair.
Fair's fair. Let Ralph finish off. He's done his best. It's been an absolute shit show to be in charge of, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, the sooner we get to 6 o'clock on Sunday, the better, and then we can pack it away. I think we'll get enough to finish in 6th. I think West Ham might struggle slightly at Brighton because I think they'll be out on their feet again after last week. 2-0 up at home with City bringing it back, Fabianski making the save and stuff, the penalty save. I just think West Ham will look tired. And Brighton really look like they started to hit their straps in the last few weeks. They had that big lull throughout the season, and now they're firing on all cylinders again. They know where the goals are, So yeah. I think I'll go Brighton 2-1, and I'll go United 2-1.
Interesting. I'm going to go for a West Ham win because I think they're due something. I think they've had a great season. I think they were unlucky in Europe. They nearly got there. And I think they probably deserve a little bit of luck on the last day of the season. But I think you guys with Ten Hag there probably overseeing it. I think you guys may have enough to do Palace. I think Palace might be on their hollypops at this stage, So I think, West Ham will just miss out. We just got full time there, Everton 3, Crystal Palace 2. So that's confirmed their Premier League status for next season. Something which I've spoken on. Your mate
got another goal.
He did, yeah.
He's been instrumental.
He's been instrumental in the last 5 weeks.
Well, in tough times, he was able to stand up. He's done more than anyone out there. I'd say the 2 best players they've had in the last 5 to 6 weeks were Jordan Pickford and Richarlison.
Absolutely. Yeah. They should never be in that position though if he stood up the other 33 weeks.
No, absolutely not. But listen, we know it can happen.
He ain't getting his flowers off me. The guy's a fraud. Right, so let's that settles that then. So where are we then? Chelsea versus Watford.
Yeah, Chelsea on the hollybops again, aren't they?
It's an end of
They look
season
like
game,
that.
really, isn't it?
End of season, yeah. And again, I'd say with Watford and with Y, you'll probably see a few changes. You'll probably see him put a lot of the younger guys out there and just get them minutes under their belt and stuff like that.
Mm.
You know, I imagine a couple of the Chelsea lads will be saying goodbye on Sunday. So, well, certainly Rudiger should be. I don't
Now,
think.
a question for you: would they be saying goodbye from the hotel, or would they be saying goodbye from the pitch, like our friend Christensen for the FA Cup final?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, if Christensen makes a decision himself, I don't think Rudiger has, not made himself available at all.
No.
I would have said he's been one of Chelsea's better players this season, and even when he announced he was leaving, he tried to do things the right way. He's a pro. He is a pro. He's a good guy, I think. Although there's an awful lot of shithousery goes on from him during the game. I don't think that necessarily takes away from the type of player he is, and I think he tries to do things the right way.
This is probably a game for Lukaku and Werner and all, isn't it? To maybe get a few goals, yeah.
It's hard to say. Like tonight, you probably looked and thought, a Leicester side that's been through to the semi-finals of the Europa and stuff like that. Again, probably going to be out on their feet. You'd have thought Chelsea would have gone and given them a real good rattling. They haven't. Just seem to be devoid of. They're missing a whole lot at the minute for me. A lot of creativity issues there, and a lot of
the heart's been sucked out of their season, hasn't it? Really,
it has, absolutely. Yeah. And listen, we spoken about it before. We know why it's happening and stuff like that, and it's affected the players and stuff like that. So I'd say again, very similar to United, they'd be delighted to just see the back of the season.
Yeah, and should sign off for a solid win against Watford, though, shouldn't they? 3-0.
Absolutely, they should. I'm going to go 4-1.
4-1. Okay. Good call. Leicester versus Southampton.
Yeah, Leicester picked up a good point tonight, and they were very, very good at the weekend as well. Very, very good. Went a goal down, obviously, to Watford, and then turned on the style and got 5. Good draw Chelsea tonight. I fully expect Leicester to come out the weekend and really put a good performance in to finish at home for Brendan and stuff like that.
Yeah, Southampton the other night looked very blunt against nearly a third-tier Liverpool side, didn't they?
What was third-tier about the Liverpool side?
Second-tier side, then, whatever way you want to call it.
I'll be throwing Rose petals at yourself.
9 changes from the FA Cup with.
Yeah, but many internationals you have in those 9 changes.
Yeah, but they're all internationals. But still, it's a lot of changes. Still, it's 9. It's
11
players that haven't played together before in a match.
Certainly not the tour team now. Come on.
Well, there was a lot of guys. Throwing rose petals at yourself now.
Come on. Yeah, I have Leicester in one of my bets later on, and it's a handicap bet. So I'm gonna say 4-1 Leicester.
Okay, I'll look forward to the handicap bit. We'll skip the next 2 and we go Norwich versus Tottenham. I think that's a foregone conclusion. This is Son potentially whipping the golden boot at this stage, isn't it? More so than anything.
Could be. Yeah, really could be. I expect him to go in with and be very attacking here. I know it's like un-Conte-like, but I feel like if you're going into a game like this, you don't want to be going in like they did at home last week to Burnley with a back 5 and, just dragging the life out of the game. I don't necessarily think he's going to reinvent the wheel this weekend either, but I think he needs to get them on the front foot straight from the off, and try and press and get that back 3 up as high as possible, and really just compress the space for Norwich to play in and just keep trying to get waves and waves and waves of it. I fancy Spurs rotten here again. I won't be shocked if this finishes 3-0.
This could be another part of your handicap bet coming up and beat the bookie.
This is definitely there's actually, I think I might have got the Leicester one wrong. There was 3 in my handicap bet. Spurs was 1, Liverpool or another, but I won't tell you who the last one are.
Okay. Loughton just got sent off there, red carded for Burnley, 90 plus 1. So just to keep you updated. Question for you here: if a penalty comes up here, does Kane hand the ball to Son?
No,
he doesn't.
No chance.
Interesting.
Kane's the penalty taker.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a card in the Golden Boot.
Yeah, but he's still the penalty taker. I
Uh-huh.
personally don't believe anything trumps you being the penalty taker.
Not even if your teammate is on the cusp of the Golden Boot, you don't give it to him.
Nope.
Because I don't. I suppose the result isn't. I
it's
suppose
not his job, though.
Yeah, I suppose the result is still pending what's happening with Arsenal and Everton. So yeah,
it's not his job. Yeah. If he's not the penalty taker, he doesn't take the penalty. Whether he's on 2 with a third for the hat trick, or whether he's level at the top with Salah and he needs one go ahead, doesn't happen for me personally. Again, people might be like,
depending on what was
Darren fellas, see you next Tuesday.
Depending on what was happening with Arsenal versus Everton, I would hand you, if you were on the cusp of the Golden Boot, I would hand you the penalty.
Yeah, but I'd be the penalty taker before you anyway, pal, so that makes no odds.
Possibly, but that's neither here nor there.
You know, I wouldn't hand it to you, even though I love you. Because if my job is to take that penalty and make it hit the back of the fucking onion sack, that's what I do.
Yeah, but what about circumstance here? I mean, if the game
doesn't come into
but if the result of the game doesn't mean anything, and your mate is on the verge of the Golden Boot,
doesn't come into it for me personally. It doesn't come into it.
There's no winning team with you, I tell you.
Listen, we've all got roles in this, and if Son's role was as the penalty taker, maybe Kane will be off the pitch, and maybe someone will say, "Sonny, you're on the pens." Happy days if he does.
Yeah, but maybe
if Kane is on that pitch,
Kane's going to be on the pitch. Kane's going to be on the pitch.
Kane takes it, and wouldn't be unlike our friend Harry to go off after 40 minutes with an ankle injury or something. You know what I mean? Especially at that. Have you seen that pitch at Norwich?
Yeah.
Possibly the worst in the league at this stage.
I wouldn't quite go that far now. There's a few worse than it, but pretty close. All right.
It's up there. Yeah, it's
cabbage.
Up there.
All right.
It really is.
Right. Let's tie in the title race. Let's not mess around here anymore. Liverpool versus Wolves and Man City versus Villa.
Yeah, unfortunately, pal.
Now be careful here. I don't want to have to mute you here now. Be careful.
Because
you've been calling these results. I don't want to have to mute you.
I see 2 home wins in the crystal ball, if I'm honest. I have both teams -2 on the handicap, actually.
Okay.
I think we'll go out and just see, the best City and Liverpool that you could possibly see. I think they'll both steamroll Villa and Wolves. Now, when I say steamroll Villa, I see 3-1, 4-1 on the cards, maybe.
Anything significant about Stevie resting a few players tonight?
Other than, letting down the rest of the league and stuff, and the lads who are in the relegation zone and stuff. Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
You're not happy?
Coutinho, Marvellous Nakamba, and Danny Ings have all started the last 5-6 games. And ahead of Sunday, the 3 boys all got to see. Very wrong. Very, very wrong.
It sets up lovely for the pre-match press conferences tomorrow, though, doesn't it? I'm sure our boy Pep will have plenty to say.
I genuinely think he has a little bit of reason there to fire a couple of shots across
100%. When I seen the lineup tonight, the first thing I thought of was Stevie swaggering off at Everton with the smirk on his face. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. Listen, he couldn't win one as a player. Maybe he's trying to hand him one as a manager.
Hey, I won't complain, will I?
You won't.
I certainly wouldn't be upset about the lineup that faced Burnley if it happens on Sunday. That's for sure. I suppose my head is saying they're both just going to run out winners and we'll just fall short by a point. That's what my head says. My heart says, could Villa do something? Now, what I seen tonight, but he did rest players.
He did. But listen, it's not completely out of question. If you look at what West Ham did to them in the first 45 last week, you can get at City, especially with, the
back line
absentees they have at the minute. If you're ever going to turn them over, now is a great opportunity. I think Sunday, he'll get a little more out onto the pitch to make them a little more solid, and he'll still have enough where he can draw on guys when he needs them.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the thing we know is City are going to score.
Yeah,
and it's unlikely that Villa are going to outscore them or even match them, I would think.
listen, we've seen Villa at times be very, very good.
Mm.
They've got Watkins, they've got Ings, they've got Buendia, Coutinho, Bertrand Traore, the boy Ramsey. They've got guys that can score goals. John McGinn, could have had a couple in the first half earlier. Nick Pope was excellent.
But they haven't been. I mean, they gave us a good game as well, let's be honest. They gave us a really good game as well. And at times, scared us at the back and stuff at the high line and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's at the Etihad. You look at City. I don't know. Again, heart says please. Head says no chance.
I could see a situation where Villa might take a lead.
That's my scare. This is the Glenn Murray situation after 15 minutes and then get pumped.
Yeah, I could see something where Villa could score early or where City get one and Villa peg them back. I'll be surprised if we don't see 1-1 at some stage on Sunday in Villa City. But that's when I think City will get the claws out and really
I can't
dig
deal
in.
with that. After that West Ham game, I can't deal with that.
That's when I think City will really dig deep and go into the trenches, and I think they'll have enough to. And I think once they get ahead and Villa see that, they're kind of out of sight. What are Villa playing for?
15 million for Grealish, apparently.
And that's just, well, you heard the thing from Mika Richards. He said it was a spoof, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, listen.
It's a hell of a made-up spoof, though, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, there's people making stuff up every day of the week.
At the football world talking big time.
Jesus. Listen, I think it's 2 home victories, if I'm honest. 2 comfortable home victories, but unfortunately, not enough to get you boys onto that number 1 spot, pal.
Right. I'm gonna send positive vibes here. I'm gonna pick with me heart again. I'm gonna go Liverpool to beat Wolves.
It's not like you.
And Villa to get the draw. That's what I'm going with, and we're gonna take the Prem. The only fear I have is I think potentially at this stage we're either going to win one or the other, but I don't think we're going to win both. And that's why I still think this whole quadruple thing, I don't think so. But I think maybe if we win the league on Sunday, if it was to happen, it might be that wave that pushes us far enough to potentially do it. But that's just the romantic in me,
I don't think you'll lift the Prem. I think City will beat Villa. I think on any other given week, if City play Villa, who do you pick?
Villa. Or sorry, City. Yeah, City. Yeah, City every week.
So I don't see that changing.
But this is a very different pressurized situation with players missing, history, romance, redemption. There's a lot on this, and after tonight's matches, the build up to this is going to be monumental. I mean, they're probably going to be talking more about Gerrard into this match than they are talking about Klopp versus Wolves.
Yeah, well, on one side, the City game is a bigger game. You know what I mean? Because if Liverpool, something has to happen in that Villa game for Liverpool to be in with a chance.
Yeah.
So that's the bigger game. You guys have to just go and do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's not in our control.
It's not in your control. So
yeah.
I think it's a stretch myself. And I also think Real have been getting plenty of rest over there after wrapping up La Liga fairly quickly.
Well, if we do,
I think they're going to make it very, very tough for you.
If we do pull it off on Sunday, I'm sure, like yourself, there's a lot of United fans that are going to be chewing the nails off themselves for a week at the thoughts of this potential quadruple.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if your treble was the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao, we've trumped it still.
Yeah.
If it's the Champions League, the Carabao, and the FA Cup, again, we cover that move as well. The only way we come out of this on our loser is if City don't pull the trigger on Sunday. You just lift that trophy and roll over and take it Real. And then you're going to find me under a stone somewhere trying to hide for at least the next 3 months.
They confirmed today that they're doing a parade and we're heading over for it Sunday week. Well, we're going over for the weekend for the Champions League now.
Let's just clear the air on that one. When you say we, He doesn't mean me.
No, we as in more Liverpool's, me, Ben, Dylan, and Dino. No, not you. No. Although you do enjoy a nice weekend in Liverpool, but
Who doesn't?
Not football wise.
Not for that reason, no.
But as much as I love my team, I don't think I can stand on the side of the road for 2 domestic cups. I just, it's a tough one, but I don't know.
Listen, you've still got irons in the fire. I would be clutching to everything for now.
Oh man, I'm holding on to everything here. I've got wood all around me here. I've got candles. I think I might even stop at the church tomorrow and get a bit of holy water the way things are going.
Don't stop at the church. Come to my house. We comfortably have more than the church. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'd be taking the holy water off a Man United fan as a blessing for Sunday somehow.
Well, the only thing I will say is this house here that I live in, before I moved in, would have been described as a Liverpool house.
Yeah, but you're there now.
My mother-in-law and my brother-in-law are both big Liverpool fans. So, maybe she has a direct line.
Could I trust you to give me the actual holy water, though, or would you change it before I get there?
I'd absolutely give you the real holy water, pal. Would I do that on you?
I don't know. Well, folks, this has been your Premier League preview. Match week 38. We thought we'd never get here. Survival Sunday. More levels than we care to think about. Title race, top 4, Europa League spots, relegation. What more could we ask for on a Sunday?
Spots.
10 fixtures, all kicking off at 4 o'clock. I'm going to have phones, laptops, everything all around me. I'm going to be watching it all. I'm going to be up the walls.
Between the hours of 3:30 and 6 o'clock on Sunday, nobody call me, nobody send me any messages, and everybody, please.
Well, every time there's a goal scored, you're going to WhatsApp video call me. Anyway, go, did you just see that? We did share the penalty shootout last weekend.
They don't know these things
happen.
Me, you and Greg on the group chat. And I mean, did we watch Rangers last night? We watched a bit of Rangers together last night, didn't we?
We did. We watched a bit of Rangers.
We watch an awful lot of football together for 2 guys that don't live in the same house.
We do an awful lot of watch-alongs that we don't put out as watch-alongs, don't we?
Yeah.
But it's interesting,
sure
anyway, to say the least. I wouldn't say we watched a lot of Rangers now. We watched I woke up mainly for the penalty shootout.
I seen no hand actor partner until the penalties. Because I was in work and there was a few things going on. And so I only seen from the penalties, which was delightful because it's the best bit of the game. And Aaron Ramsey decided to fall over his own shoelaces, which was
Did you see the video today of him coming back to Scotland and it's the body wrapped up on the carousel belt in the airport?
Yeah.
Hilarious. They don't pull any punches, sure they don't.
They sure don't.
Anyway, drop your predictions down there, folks. This is your last chance. If you want to pick up a hat or a t-shirt or a mug, come on, give us a reason to give this stuff away. Other than that, if you want to contact the show, the uppertierpodcast@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, out on Twitter @the_upper_tier. And you'll also find us audio shows, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And we will be back on Monday night. Don't forget, we'll also be dropping previews, beat the bookies, the whole lot and all this side of the weekend. But we will be back as well on Monday with our final Monday mashup. And don't forget to look out. We're going to be doing a big show sometime next week where we give out our upper tier awards. We've got some decent categories in there that should generate good debate. Till next time, my friend.
Thanks, pal.
A pleasure.